The big Sony State of Play for the future of the PlayStation 5, of course, just wrapped up. All eyes were on this presentation. What is coming to the PlayStation 5? What does the future of PlayStation look after a somewhat quiet 2025? You know, wasn't exactly a banner year for PlayStation, in my humble opinion. Will RGT have a reason to turn on his PlayStation 5 soon? And what did I think about this presentation? Surprisingly, I kind of actually liked it. I don't know what the internet vibe is on this presentation, but I kind of enjoyed it. There was some cool stuff in here. So we're going to talk about it. Hit subscribe if you are new, because I am the king of PlayStation YouTube. Kicking things off, we have Saros with the guy doing the voiceover sounding quite a bit like MVG. I don't know if that's like bad to say, because I don't know, a lot of those people kind of sound the same with their little accents. It looks similar to Returnal, but there are some new tricks up his sleeve, such as being able to absorb projectiles to do like a bigger attack based on it. It looks pretty cool. I never played Returnal because of the roguelike elements of it. I am not a fan of roguelike elements. I'm not a fan of card elements and stuff in my games. It's just Souls elements. Like, these are just genres that do nothing for me, but I do understand that there are a lot of people that do enjoy it. Of course, there is that blending of styles like we saw with Returnal, some bullet hell elements with these enemy projectile attacks. But now in Saros, you can actually revive on the first death, so maybe this is a little bit of a difficulty buff. Maybe it's based on some feedback on the original game, but I do think that could potentially open the door to a wider audience. You come back stronger and stuff like that. That was kind of one of the taglines of it. The game will be coming out on March 20th, 2026, so a nice spring release for the PlayStation 5. Next up was some game. I think this was card-based. Like, they kind of showed cards, and I wish it wasn't cards, because like I just said, like, literally a minute ago, I don't really like cards in my games. It's a game called Zero Parades for Dead Spies. It's kind of like a stealthy game. I didn't really understand, like, I think the trailer like did a bad job of explaining like what this game is and how it works. I do kind of like the art style. Coming out sometime in 2026. Next up was Xbox at a PlayStation event. Ooh, the world's gone crazy. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is indeed coming to PlayStation 5. People love these games, but I'm not people. I'm sure it'll look and run fine on the PlayStation 5. Probably some nice bells and whistles on the PlayStation 5 Pro. You know, you fly around. You can, put out fires with a fire plane. What is it, a fire engine plane? Like, what the hell do you call it? For me, if I'm playing a flying game, give me a Ace Combat. Give me an Afterburner or something like that. You know, that's kind of more my flow with flying games. But the game will be coming out on December 5th, 2025, and there's PSVR 2 support in development. That could actually be kind of cool. Now, it's not cool enough for me to buy the game, because if I really wanted to play it, I'll just play it on Game Pass, but that could be interesting because, spoiler alert, I was the only PlayStation VR 2 thing at this event. God, geez Louise, that was such a waste of money. The Battlefield 6 campaign was shown next. I liked the multiplayer, but I didn't love it. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I have to buy this on day one now. Something just felt a little bit off with it to me. Maybe I was hoping more for like a Bad Company 2 style game, but I don't know. I'll probably wait a little bit on it. Obviously, with the campaign, there's lots of big scenes and fancy effects and people swearing and yelling and stuff. Okay, that's kind of cool. October 10th. Then we got into some third-party stuff, and here is where RGT starts to feast with these game announcements or game reveals or updates, because there was a lot of cool stuff in here that I definitely enjoyed. And most of these are probably multi-plats, but whatever. They're the ones who got to talk about it. Deus Ex Remastered. This was completely out of nowhere. Now, it is done by Aspyr. Aspyr can be a little bit hit or miss with some of the games, but this is a classic game. I remember going to visit Pecker Dupree when he moved to Georgia, and we went over to this kid's house who had like an 89 Honda Prelude that we actually got pulled over. I was like 14 or 15 at the time, and the kid had his driver's license, and we definitely got pulled over going like 110 in that thing in like a 55, but somehow like he didn't get arrested. But he was playing Deus Ex on his PC, and he's like, "You ever played Deus Ex?" I was like, "No, I don't have a personal computer," but like it looks so cool. I don't know. I probably will play this. February 26th, like I said, or 2026, probably a multi-plat. Enhanced visuals, very, very cool. Halloween the game was up next. Let's go. And this, my friends, looks awesome. It's exactly what I wanted. It's essentially Friday the 13th. Part 2. You play as a civilian. You play as Michael Myers. You got to escape Michael Myers. You got to save civilians. You got to call the cops. You can hit Michael Myers with a bat. It's literally just like Friday the 13th with some new stuff thrown in and new skins. Like, even the characters looked like they were straight out of Friday the 13th. But I love this. It's awesome, and I can't wait to play it, but I am going to be waiting a while because the damn game doesn't come out till September 8th of 2026. I have to wait a year for this? I might not even be around in a year, pal. That kind of made me a little sad, but it does look awesome. The Last Epoch is coming to PlayStation 5. I don't know what this is. They're also doing a major expansion for The Last Epoch. Okay, that's cool. The 7 Deadly Sins Origins. I think this is based on an anime, a metaverse of anime. It's an open world RPG. There's an anime art style. It's obviously not a game that I would be super interested in, but I can see like somebody like OJ like demanding that this game come to the Switch 2 immediately because of the fact that, you know, he likes that kind of stuff. January 28th, 2026. Sonic Crossworlds DLC was talked about next. Mega Man and Proto Man and a Mega Man course will be invading Sonic Crossworlds Racing. I like how Sonic Crossworlds is kind of turning into like essentially like Smash Brothers for racing games. I don't know. It seems cool to me. It comes out sometime in early 2026. I believe they said January. I don't know. I didn't write it down in my notes. Neo 3 gets a release date. I've said this before. I've never played a Neo game before. I know there's 2 others because, I mean, this is the 3rd one. People seem to dig them, though. It looks cool enough. The game will be coming out on February 6th of 2026. Also, Koei Tecmo, always the busy company, is doing Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Remastered Edition. You know, they're doing a lot of stuff. They're kind of everywhere, all over the place. March 19th, 2026 on that. You like Code Vein? Well, Code Vein 2 is coming out on January 30th. I don't know what Code Vein is. I did think it looked okay, though. Like, I actually kind of liked it. Like, obviously, there's a kind of the little Soulsy things with the enemy types. I like the art style, even though it was kind of anime-ish. I don't know. It looked all right. I'm probably not going to play it, but, you know, it's cool. Talk about Final Fantasy Tactics was up next. I'm still not a fan of that graphical style for the modern thing. Like, it just looks like a crappy filter, and it makes it look soft. Like, I don't know. The game's getting crazy high reviews, so what do I know? Maybe it's because review scores... Oh, man. I'm going to save that thought for a video on the second channel. I have some thoughts about how Metacritic is kind of revered in the gaming sphere that we're going to talk about very, very soon. However, Final Fantasy Tactics is a great game. The Ivalice Chronicles, of course, adds an additional content. They could have just done a little bit more. Cool zombie glasses, guys, here. Let's go. It's Let It Die Inferno, December 3rd. What the hell is Let It Die? Well, it's a roguelike player versus environment, weird-ass shit grasshopper game. I'm not playing this. I'm not playing this, but you might be. It also looked like really blurry. I don't know if it was just the trailer or what was going on here, but it looked kind of blurry. Cool zombie glasses guy, December 3rd, in Let It Die Inferno. Next up was a Metroidvania game in which you play as like an ink blob or something in like a book or in an author's room, and you go from like different books and stuff. I didn't really care for the art style. You know, I kind of liked what they were going for, but I'm not sure I love the execution of it. Maybe it was the color palette that kind of bothered me, but it's like hand-drawn with like a pen style or something like that. Chronoscript The Endless 2026 might be something worth checking out when you're done with Hollow Knight. Next up, Crimson Desert. Now, this is a game that people have been glazing a lot. I think it's also coming to the Switch 2 as well. I have heard so much glazing about this game. I am curious about the gameplay because they're kind of being a little bit facetious with the gameplay. It seems like a lot of it is scripted content that they're showing. Medieval, lots of landscapes, melee combat. You fly on a dragon. Futuristic elements, you know, could be something worth checking out on March 19th. Then Sony is making some speakers for your desktop. You can adjust the speaker orientation, has a microphone, subwoofers in it, works on PS5 consoles, PC, and Portal with hours of battery life. Comes out in 2026. I do not care. They showed off some PlayStation Plus stuff next. Will they show off PS2 games? Probably not, but you never know. Alan Wake 2 is coming to PlayStation Plus. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is coming to PlayStation Plus. And holy Christ on a cracker, Soul Calibur 3 and Tomb Raider Anniversary for the PlayStation 2 are coming to PlayStation Plus Premium, the expensive one that I got roped into signing up for again because I forgot to cancel it. That's pretty cool. More PlayStation 2 stuff, please. Gran Turismo 7 Spec 3 update, the very biggest update yet. 2 new tracks, 8 new cars, and much more. I'm actually excited for this. I loved Gran Turismo 7. This is probably my most played PlayStation 5 game. I've kind of fallen off with it, but adding in some new tracks, some new cars and stuff like that, that's going to get me right back in there. So I am looking forward to that and keeping an eye on it. A God of War 20th anniversary DualSense controller. Remember when PlayStation guys used to make fun of Xbox guys for all the controllers? But I'm sure that means that the 2D God of War that people keep talking about is finally going to be up next, right? Wrong. 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 But that's okay, because this final game was something that brought a smile to my face. I cannot wait to play this. It's Wolverine. All right, Wolverine is cool. And there was a lot of concern about this game. Like, oh, is it going to be too much like Spider-Man? Is it going to be, like, violent like that game that came out on the 360 and the PS3 was? Holy Christ on a cracker, folks. They have cranked up the violence to insane levels in this game. Like, I don't even know, like, what YouTube is going to allow me to show, because God forbid you show fictitious video game violence. They get very anal about stuff like that. But this is, like, Mortal Kombat levels of insanity. And I loved this. There was cameos from various X-Men characters. There's various forms of Wolverine. There's like Cowboy Wolverine, like Chillin' Wolverine, and then like Wolverine and his suit Wolverine. I'm sure there's going to be a whole plethora of different costumes and stuff like that. It just looks awesome. Like, it's something that you need to watch for yourself. They did like a deep dive after the fact, kind of explaining everything with the game. But this game will be coming out in fall of 2026. And I think it looks incredible. So that was the end of the presentation. And there were some things that I definitely liked from this presentation. You know, I think Saros looks pretty cool. I'm definitely more interested in playing that potentially on day one than Returnal. Deus Ex Remastered, Halloween the video game, those are definitely games that I will be picking up on day one. And Wolverine looks absolutely fantastic. The Gran Turismo 7 stuff, I think it all is promising, but I also think that PlayStation is also running into the same issue that they are having, but maybe it's not so much an issue, it's just the direction of the company, where it's like, hey, you're gonna get 1 or 2 games a year, and that's it, pal. Like, what we know now is a lot of what we know for first party stuff in 2026, you would have to assume, just kind of based on 2025. And for some people, you know, that's going to be a bit of a tough pill to swallow. I hardly use my PlayStation 5. Most of my third-party games I play on the Xbox. So really, I'm just looking for the exclusive titles and then third-party announcements that interest me. And there were those things during this presentation, but, you know, how's it going to land with you? That's kind of the real question here. So let me know in the comment section down below. What games were you looking forward to? Anything I'm sleeping on here that you think I should be interested in? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out today's video. Make sure you check out the video from earlier today as well. You get 2 videos today instead of just 1. And as always, hit subscribe if you're new. Like the video. Hype it up if I have hype available on this channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.